Hello and welcome everybody to the final episode of Season 1 of That 70's Song Show. If this is your first episode, I urge you to check out our previous episodes because we had a lot of build-up to this point and they're a lot of fun. And if you've been here with us all along, don't you have anything to do? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We really appreciate it. This is the final episode. We've covered the entire decade of the 70s. This season, and we're at the last episode, which is 1979. So we can't wait for next season. But let's get through this one first. So as you can see, we decided to celebrate by wearing the ugliest shirts that we could find. Mark is wearing his eye poker collar jacket and gaudy shirt there. I've got my Paisley psychedelic gaudy shirt. I'd like to mention Jessica's wearing one of our products, though. If you like her shirt, you might have seen us wearing that from time to time. That is Weeder John's for a video that we made that you can watch. We'll have a link for you somewhere around here. And the shirt is on sale. It's a good condition. Had mine for 6 years. The letters are still, in place. They look good. The material is good. It's $20, so check it out on our website if you like it. All right, so enough of that. We've got our final game show of the season. Before we get into that, we're going to talk about, my name is Tim, by the way, and I'm here with, I'm your host, as usual, and I'm here with Mark and Jessica, the owners of Trimungus.
Hello.
And today, Jessica is going to tell us, once again, about Trimungus and what we do and why you should hire us.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Hello, everyone. We are Trimungus, a full-service production company based out of Middletown, Delaware. And we're the go-to for telling your story. Whether you're trying to get to customers, hire great people at your company, produce something creative, have your music out there for the world to enjoy, we can do all the things. So hit us up. Our website is trimungus.com. And I could talk about it for hours, but let's get to the game.
Yeah, that's it. And that's pretty succinct nutshell version because there's so much. I mean, normally there's so many things that we want to tell you we can do, but check us out and you'll see for ourselves, once again, we've got another 3-round game. It's music trivia revolving the year of 1979. Mark's going to tell us about how this developed and why we do it.
Thanks, Tim. So, this show was born out of one of our things that we do when we're hanging out on a Saturday night, brainstorm and come up with ideas for new productions and stories. And listening to music. Music is such an important part of our lives. I'm a multi-instrumentalist. Been playing music for over 30 plus years now. It's just so important. I mean, we're coming to you from our recording studio in our control room, surrounded by all my favorite toys and gadgets and things like that. So we built playlists out of fun. We actually turned it into a kind of a game.
Yep.
I think we had a playlist last night.
And they went last night, yeah.
2 hours, worth of music. And so we kind of came up with the idea based upon, Tim, your personal hobbies, which is Billboard charts.
Billboard chartophile. There's probably a word for it, other than weirdo,
So, we again, sitting around the kitchen table one of those Saturday nights, we came up with the idea. Let's put together a podcast / video cast, whatever you want to call this type of show. Based on the Billboard charts and our love of music, and here we are.
And we turned it into a game show. So then I get to test the two of you, and but the game is for all of us. So when I get to the point explanation, you'll see how that works. All right, thank you, Mark. Are you folks ready for the final 1970s trivia show of the season?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so we've got 3 parts. The first part revolves around Billboard's top 50 songs of 1979, which we will have in the description. So if you want to play along, the option is to pick the 10 songs out of that list that you think made the top 10 for the year. So if you want to pause, look at that list, write some songs down, go ahead and do that now, and then come back, and we will continue the game.
Round 1, Top 10, Points Explainer. Each contestant picks 10 songs from an alphabetized list of the top 50 songs for that year and ranks them from 1 to 10 as their guest placement. The contestants' song picks are then compared to the actual ranking of the top 50 songs for that year. The relative placement of each song is determined based on its ranking in the top 50 songs for that year. If the guest placement of the song is the same as its relative placement, then the contestant gets 1 point. and half a point if it's off by 1. Any song picked that also ranked in the top 10 of the top 50 songs for that year earns a bonus point. Each song that doesn't get points awarded to the contestants earns the host a half point each.
First, we will start with how many songs you both chose. And this episode, you both chose 6 of the same songs out of 50. So it's pretty, it's been pretty average most of the season, all around 5 all the time. So I will start with those 6 songs. And the first song is the Charlie Daniels Band, The Devil Went Down to Georgia, which was song number 50 for the year. So that gives away a lot. Mark, you put that at 3, which is no. It's just no. It's very no. And but Jessica, you put it at 10, which is perfect. So you get ding, 1 point.
Can I add, I've actually seen the Charlie Daniels Band perform that live.
Very cool.
At the Grand Ole Opry.
Is it as magical as you'd think?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was great.
He was the Fiddle King. And I think I saw him in a breadsticks commercial or something one day. But
I saw him on Heat Hall.
I probably saw him on that too. I remember that show.
Yeah.
I used to watch
Big
that.
show in the 70s.
Because it was on. No, variety comedy shows, Carol Burnett show. That was probably one of my favorite late 70s shows.
Yeah.
I watched that. It was hilarious. So on to the next song. We've got Neil Diamond and Barbra Streisand, You Don't Bring Me Flowers, which was number 21 for the year. Mark, you put that at 5. Jessica, you put it at 9, and you're both off by 1. So you get half a point each for that song. All right, and I want to mention that you both may know this, because we might have talked about this recently, but they did not record that song together. They did their own versions of the song, and the DJ spliced them together, and that's how that version became popular.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Yeah,
either.
that's very cool. So
That's cool.
all right, so up next I have Anita Ward, Ring My Bell, which I absolutely loved that song when it came out. It was infectious. That song's number 9 for the year. And let's see, Mark, you put that at 7, and Jessica, you put that at 4, but neither of you came close, so no point for that song. All right, up next we got Village People, YMCA. Now, you mentioned in the last episode that it was released in 78, but its greatest success came in 79, which is why it's here. That song was number 8 for the year. Mark, you put it at 4. Jessica, you put it at 1. Jessica, yeah, you were way off on that one, but Mark, you got it perfect, so you get 1 point for YMCA. All right, we got Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. Good choice. That song finished at number 6 for the year. Mark, you put it at 10, and Jessica, you put it at 2. Mark, you were definitely way off, but neither of you were close enough to get any point for that. Okay. We finally have, we've got The Knack, My Sharona, the 6th song that you both picked. Mark, you put that at number 8. You both put it at number 8, but you should have put it first because it would have been number 1 according to the songs you picked. So no points for My Sharona, unfortunately. And so let's see where we stand. We got, all right, so we got 4 more songs for each of you that the other one didn't pick, so we're going to get to those next. All right, first we got, on Mark's list, we got The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. This was number 40 for the year. You put it at number 1, but it actually finishes at 9 on your list. All right. Next, Jessica chose Peaches and Herb, Shake Your Groove Thing. That song was number 31 for the year. And just like Mark, you put it at 1, but it also should have been number 9. So,
Interesting.
yeah. Ooh. Next, we've got Barbra Streisand's The Main Event Fight. Mark, you chose that. That was number 35 for the year. You put it at number 2, but it finishes at number 8 for you. Jessica chose Hot Stuff by Donna Summer. Understandably. Let's see. That song was number 7 for the year. You put it at 5, and that's exactly right. You get 1 point for Hot Stuff. All right. Let's see now. Mark, you have Don't Cry Out Loud by Melissa Manchester. Why is it automatically funny? Well, the thing is, there's a scene from Drop Dead Gorgeous where the previous winner, it's kind of vicious. She's kind of emaciated in a wheelchair, and she's being pushed around, and she's lip-syncing this song, and it's just... That's what I think of every time I hear this song. Yeah. Serious. The movie's kind of vicious, but that's not a 1979 thing, so we'll forget that. Anyway, Don't Cry Out Loud by Melissa Manchester was number 26 for the year. You put it at 9, but you should have put it at 7, so no points for that one. All right, back to Jessica. Another Peaches and Herb. You chose Reunited, which was number 5 for the year. You put it at 6, but you should have put it at 3. No points. All right, you each got one left. Sticking with Jessica's list, you've got Le Freak by Chic, which was the number 3 song. You put it at 7, but it actually fits in at number 2 on your list. And finally, we've got Rod Stewart. I love saying it this way. "Daya Think I'm Sexy," because that's the way it's spelled, you know. That was "Daya Think I'm Sexy" was number 4 for the year, and you put it at number 6, but should have put it at number 2, so no points for Daya. All right, so here's what we got so far. Mark, you got 1 song in the correct position and 1 song off by 1, so far 1.5 points. But you chose 5 of the top 10 songs correctly, so you have a total of 6.5. Jessica, all right, so you got 2 songs in the correct position and 1 off by 1. But you chose a whopping 7 out of 10 of the top 10 songs, which is the highest so far. Wow. 7 points for that, and your total score right now is 9.5. All right, so Mark, the songs you didn't get points for were 8 of them, so I get 4 points from you. Jessica, for you is 7, so I got 3.5 for you, so my score is 7.5. So just to recap, Mark, 6.5, Jess 9.5, myself 7.5. So Jessica, you're in the lead currently. And I want to mention you've won 4 of the episodes so far. You've won 4, I've won 3. Actually, we tied, so you came close to winning one more, and Mark has 2, correct? All right, so if you win this one, then you're the super duper champion of the season. And if you were playing the game, let us know how you did. All right, so before I get to the next round, I'm going to read the actual top 10 according to Billboard in 1979, and you can see how you did. And here we go. Number 10 was Robert John's "Sad Eyes." Remember "Sad Eyes"? Sad eyes, turn the other way. Who's had a high-pitched falsetto ballad? No? Oh, I can't believe you don't remember that song. Girl. Number 9, I was Anita Ward's "Ring My Bell," which I remember that song raced up to the chart. It was in the top 10 for quite a while. Number 8 was the Village People's "YMCA," unsurprisingly. Number 7 was Donna Summer's "Hot Stuff." Yeah, we got a lot of disco going on here. Number 6 was Gloria Gaynor's "I Will Survive." Number 5 was Peaches and Herbs "Reunited." Number 4 was Rod Stewart, "Daya Think I'm Sexy." Number 3 was "Le Freak" by Chic. Number 2 was Donna Summer's "Bad Girls," the bigger Donna Summer hit that nobody picked. And number 1, this is the reason why I knew the answer to your trivia question, was the Knack's "My Sharona." It was the number 1 song for the year. So, all right, that's our top 10 for 1979, and now we are on to round 2. So round 2 is the multiple choice trivia question round, where Jessica and I will each ask 3 questions, and Mark will ask 1 bonus question. And I will explain the points for how that works. Let me just get my questions all set up here. All right, so for myself and Jessica's questions, every correct answer will give you 1 point. Every incorrect answer will give the asker a half a point. And we'll explain Mark's question when we get to it. So let me start here. All right, so my first question of 3. You have your cards ready?
I do.
All right. First question. In 1979, the vocal group Sister Sledge hit the U.S. singles charts with "We Are Family." Which 1979 championship Major League Baseball team used this tune as its theme song? The choices are A, Los Angeles Dodgers, B, Boston Red Sox, C, Pittsburgh Pirates, or D, New York Yankees. Reveal your answers, please. Mark says A, Jessica says D, and you're both wrong. The answer is C, Pittsburgh Pirates. So thank you for that point. Appreciate that. All right. Moving on to the next question. Okay. In the 1979 hit song, here it says "Do Ya." They got it wrong. It's "Daya." In the 1979 hit song "Do You Think I'm Sexy," which items did Rod Stewart apologize to his lover that he was out of? Okay, your choices are A, bread and donuts, B, tea and sugar, C, milk and coffee, D, love and patience.
I've got my own choice.
I don't want to hear it. Dark web. All right, reveal your answers. Mark says D. Jessica says C. Jessica is correct. I'm out of milk and coffee.
It wasn't lube and anal beads?
Not in the pop version, no. So that's 1 point for Jess and a half a point for me. Thanks again, Mark. We'll talk later, seriously. All right, so third question. Let me find my third question here. In 1979, Dr. Hook sang When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman, blank. Choices are A, Beware, B, It's Fun, C, Play Fair, or D, It's Hard. Don't look at me right now. All right, you ready? Reveal your answers. Mark says A, Jessica says B. The answer is D, It's Hard. Which I wonder exactly what they meant. I hope they meant it. Anyway, thanks for the point, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, so that's the end of my questions, and now we'll move on to Jessica's questions. All right, go ahead, Jess. Tell us what's happening in 1979.
All right. In 1979, ESPN launched on cable TV. Trivial Pursuit was launched. You could buy a Toyota Corolla for under $4,000. And the cost of a gallon of gas was still under $1 at 86 cents.
We need to go into other dimensions more often, and time portals and back in time to get some of that gas. Go ahead.
All right. So the first question for me is who became, a little interesting trivia here. We are Eurovision Song Contest fans. So I came across this fact that 1979 was the first time that the Eurovision Song Contest took place in a country outside of Europe.
Oh.
It was in Israel.
Okay.
And our first question is, who became the first pop music star to perform in Israel?
Okay.
That's unrelated to Eurovision, but,
Okay.
In
interesting
1979.
tidbit. 1979, this person became the first pop music star to perform in Israel. Was it A, Rod Stewart, B, Billy Joel, C, Elvis Costello, or D, Elton John? All right. Both said D. That is correct.
Yeah.
Elton John.
I don't know why that made sense, but it just did.
All right. Next question. A song hits number 1 on the Billboard charts for the first time in over a year that is not either a disco song or a ballad, signaling the potential resurgence of rock.
Okay. This year?
1979.
Okay.
Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's number 1 for the whole year.
Right.
But it hits number 1 on the charts
Gotcha.
this year at some point. That is over a year since the song that hit the top was not a disco song or a ballad.
Gotcha.
All right. Choices are A, Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who, B, Video Killed the Radio Star by The Buggles, C, My Sharona by The Knack, or D, Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen. What are your answers?
All right.
You both say C, and that is correct.
Yeah.
Good job.
That was kind of the only one, because I'm thinking the Queen song was in the 80s, I think. Early 80s. And the other songs did not hit number 1. So that was kind of an easy one.
And this was a hard one to come up with because this was the one that took me the longest time because I was trying to find another popular song that was not disco or ballad or country or whatever.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. Well, good effort.
these
Good
are
effort.
the best ones I could come up with.
All right. Very cool.
I'm sure folks may have other ideas. Anyway, all right. My last question is, who became the first female artist to have 5 top 10 hits in the same year?
Okay.
A, Donna Summer, B, Barbra Streisand, C, Rita Coolidge, or D, Dolly Parton. And you both get points. The answer is A, Donna Summer.
All right.
That's right.
All right. So that's the end of Jessica's questions. And now we're going to move on to Mark's big bonus question. Who knows what it is? Could be true or false. Could be multiple choice.
So this is the bonus question. We also call it the equalizer, right? It's worth 3 points if you get it right.
For me and Jessica, yes. But
and if you get it wrong, I get 1.5 points, which I desperately need because I am.
Yeah, as it stands right now, actually, you're not too far behind. You actually have 9.5. Jessica has 10.5. I have 13, so you got to beat me.
All right.
But you're close enough that you could still do it.
All right. Well, this is a multiple choice. It's a pop culture, junk food area. This is a McDonald's trivia question.
Oh. Okay.
So, what now famous menu item first debuted and launched in 1979 from McDonald's? Was it A, the Big Mac, B, the Happy Meal, C, Chicken McNuggets, or D, the McRib sandwich?
I'm kind of 50% on two choices here, but
Let me
I'm
see
going to go
your
with
answers. So, Jessica, you said A, Big Mac. Tim, you said C,
Chicken McNuggets.
The actual answer is B, the
Damn
Happy
it.
Meal.
That's the one. That's the one I was thinking. Maybe it should be Happy Meal.
Those 3 points
Oh,
total.
look at you, man! Now you're half a point behind me. So
That means I'm in last.
you're for once. I know that never happens.
All right, so what's our point totals going into round
All right,
3?
so point totals as it stands, Jessica, you have 10.5. Mark, you got 12.5, and I have 13. So it's still close enough that any of us could get it. You know. All right, this brings us to round 3, our favorite and final 1970s nostalgia round, where we get to reminisce about the last song of the decade. All right, so now we're on to the third and final round, our final 1970s nostalgia round, where we get to share our story of the song from 1979 that moved us the most. Our last chance to get some points, and we're pretty close here, so any one of us could win at this moment. All right. So basically, in the nostalgia round, we each tell a story about a song from the year 1979 that meant something to us at some point in time that'll bring us back to the past or whatever. If you've got a nostalgia story about a song from '79, go ahead and put it in the comments, and perhaps we'll read them on the air or reminisce about them with you someday. Also, once the stories are told, we each give each other points, and whoever has the most points at the end of the game gets to pick from the jar of prizes. And if Jessica wins this, then she's the season champion. So, maybe we'll do something special during the break between the seasons. All right. So, Mark,
like
why?
throw another pie in your face, maybe?
No, that wasn't fun. I still have pie in my beard.
Okay.
Might help if I get in the shower one of these days, So, all right.
How about some pudding?
Not again. Not again. Don't make me throw up on the mic.
Okay.
So, why don't you start there, Mr. Chatty Chat?
Fine. Ugh. Well, I would have hoped that I would have had a song that would have had a little more something.
Okay.
To give you for the final.
You can't win them all. You've had some good stories so far.
Nostalgia round of the first season. But this song takes me back to as a little kid dancing around my room playing 45s, and my song was The Knack's My Sharona.
Okay.
That was you figure in '79 I was only 5, but in the '80s, someone in my family, I can't remember if my mother had it or my sister had it on 45, and I got a hold of it and just play it over and over and over again, and dance around my room, flying my Star Wars ships, my Sharona. We had a Ranger up party with the Millennium Falcon back in the day. Anyway, so you can imagine me with my goofy smile and bowl cut.
I'm trying to picture that too. 5-year-old you dancing to My Sharona. But it was funnier because you said you wasn't sure if it was your mom's record, and I'm already imagining her dancing to Club Nouveau's "Lean on Me." So thinking about your mom dancing to My Sharona is equally funny. So, but go ahead.
Yeah. So it's just one of those. This fond memories takes me back to being a young kid, and when I would hear music for our song for the first time and how much it made a mark on me. I mean, not related because I don't, we didn't cover this year, but there was a song that my family still gets on me about that I used to play on repeat on a 45, which was Downtown. Remember that song Downtown?
Oh, Petula Clark. Yeah.
I used to play that like on repeat for over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I had those songs too.
So, and My Sharona was one of those songs as well that just would get played over and over again until I wore out the record. But being a little kid, playing with my Star Wars toys, rocking out to some 45s.
So essentially, when you hear that song today, it'll bring you back to that moment.
Yeah,
still, though.
very
That's-
much so.
That's nostalgia for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, it qualifies as a nostalgia story. So
All right.
good on you.
Thank you.
All right, Jessica, why don't you tell us your story?
Alrighty. So mine comes from back in the day when I was a little girl. And 1979 was also the year that my family moved to Virginia. And I was living pretty close with my grandparents on my mom's side. So I went to their house a lot, especially during the summers when I wasn't in school. And they had, the music was just whatever was on the radio. But this was back when they had a CB receiver. So, if my parents were out, they could communicate. So,
Okay.
pre-phone, mobile phones, but they had the CB. So this was kind of like the time, right? And I really, really loved going to my grandmother's house. Her house was right on the Potomac River in Virginia. So her backyard literally, like part of her property was a beach. It was on the Potomac River. So I spent a lot of time there, loved it there. And there was this one song that would come on the radio that I thought was an older song. I thought it was like an oldie, but it was current for the time. I just didn't realize that when I was young. So as an adult, when I heard that song, I would always just be instantly transported to being a little kid, this song coming on the radio and just dancing my little heart out. When Mark shared his story, I couldn't help but think of the similarities. I unfortunately did not have any Star Wars toys, despite I would have enjoyed having them, but I didn't. And I was at my grandmother's house usually when the song would come on, probably just because of the radio. So I would twirl around and just dance all over the place to Frank Mills' Music Box Dancer.
Oh, okay.
So that was a song. It's instrumental.
Yes.
It sounded at the time, I just thought it was older. And, as an adult, just always loved that song. Whenever it came on, I would just want to get up and dance and think about how much fun I had as a kid.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. And, it's funny because when I hear that song, I mentioned Solid Gold. Some of my memories of pop songs were like the dance they did on Solid Gold.
Right.
And that's right where my mind goes because they had a dance for that. My sister loved that song. And you had mentioned off camera that you weren't sure if it charted or not. It did, in fact, hit number 4. So it was probably in the top 100 somewhere, but it didn't. As far as I know, it didn't make the top 50, but no, it was definitely a big hit, very popular. And again, the 70s, a time when instrumental songs blossomed a little more, it seemed, So, all right, very, very cool story. Anything else you want to add, or?
I mean, the song itself is, to me, subjectively just a happy song.
It's a very sweet song, yes.
And, I'd hate to be in a world that didn't have it in it.
Ah, that's nice. It's kind of like, almost like the Nutcracker Christmassy type of feeling you get when you hear it. It brings you back to being a kid. Because most girls had that music box when you opened the little ballerina dance and stuff
had
like
one
that.
of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I didn't equate that because I didn't know that was the name of the song.
Okay, fair
Like
enough.
when I was a kid, it was just this tune, this music that I liked, and I didn't know the artist, I didn't know the name until years later.
Gotcha.
When I'm like, there's this song that every once in a while I'll hear, and it took a while to kind of like try to sing it, even though there's no vocals, to someone to like figure out what that was, or I might have waited till the internet, to look it up and discover. But at the time, I didn't know that there was a connection. But that's just coincidental.
There were instrumental songs in the 70s that I did not know what they were called until the internet came around. So, all right, very cool. So, I guess it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Give it
Ready?
to us,
Are you
give it
ready?
to us. Yep.
Now, I know I've told you this story before, but it is appropriate for the nostalgia round. The song I chose was YMCA by the Village People. So, I'll tell the story for our audience. So, in 1979, I was finishing second grade. This is the first half of 79, and I was probably about 7 years old. Every year at my public school in Queens, New York, there was a dance festival in the summer where all the classes got together. Some classes joined together, some classes were individual. We picked a popular song, we did a dance. They were usually like line dances and simple things like that. So my teacher chose YMCA. We all got in line, so we all did this, we choreographed this dance thing that, at 7 years old, I was excited about. Like, I cared more about that than I did what was actually going on in school and other things. I was so excited. We got to, we each had to buy a white t-shirt, which the teacher took and dyed orange for whatever reason. And we got to make letters to hang around our neck, YMCA. So we had these big cutout letters and we glued all these, I forget, it was sequins or something. They were all nice and shiny. And so I got my letter and I got my orange t-shirt and I know all the dance. I'm so excited. And I get the measles. Sorry about the clap. But I wound up with the measles. So I was out of school for 2 weeks, did not get to perform the dance. Didn't get my orange t-shirt, and when I finally went back to school, I was like, where's my letter? And they gave me the wrong letter, and I was like, oh. So, and the last time I told the story, you all reacted it was really sad, and it's funny to me now because it's just silly little kid stuff, who cares, but we had a friend who was like, oh, you poor soul, that's terrible, and so then we all got up in the kitchen and did the YMCA dance, I think.
The night I trashed the kitchen in a dance rage.
Yeah, I
so.
think, what was it, something involved, something on the counter. Oh yeah, you said that thing flying. Your lovely reflexes.
It was during Elton John's
Saturday Night's All Night Flying. Yeah, it got pretty, it was high stepping that night.
But yes, after you told us the story, we got up and we did the YMCA.
And it's funny because I remember you put it on, you and one other person got up, and then you're sitting at the table, and I'm thinking to myself, surely Jessica's not going to get involved in this silly shit. And I look at you as you're going to do this too? And you're like, hell yeah. And I'm like, damn it. And I'm like, oh, so I got up and begrudgingly did the YMCA, though. It was fun. It was silly, but it was fun. Because I'm the kind of person, when I watch movies and I see, families and films get around the thing and start singing and dancing, I'm like, that's stupid. Nobody does that. And then this happened, and I was like, oh, no, we're in one of those things. So YMCA, even though it kind of bit me twice, but no, that was a lot of fun. That's so it's kind of nostalgic for me for two reasons now, because I get to remember both of those things. And that is my story. All right. So now is the part on Sprockets when we divide the points up. And I'll start here. Let me just recap. So, Jessica, your song was Music Box Dancer. And your song was, remind me?
My Sharona.
My Sharona, that's correct. So,
obviously not very memorable if you couldn't remember my song.
There's other reasons that I couldn't remember it, so.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so I got to lean in favor of Jessica's story in this one. I mean, Mark, you usually have some really good personal stories that bring you back to your days of music. This one, I mean, it wasn't a bad story, but I think Jessica was a little stronger, so I'm going to give Jessica 3 points, and I'll give you 2.
Okay.
All right. And now, it is your turn, Mark.
All right. Well, I'm going to just split my points evenly between you, 2.5 for each.
Okay.
Because both of your stories I've heard before, and both of those songs have made it onto previous playlists in our Saturday night hangouts. We had the Dance Rager where I destroyed the kitchen, and then also Jessica's song. So I gave you each 2.5 points.
Cool. Thank you. All right, Jessica, it is your turn.
I also decided that I wanted to split my points.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I thought both stories were great. I was part of me was like, oh, I should give Tim more because he's calling out, we are part of your nostalgia story. But the reason I'm doing it evenly is because of the connection that I have with that experience as well. So, it's probably I imagine that we were doing that at the same time. I'm dancing around in Music Box Dancer, and you're dancing around in My Sharona, literally at the same time. Yeah. That was possible, especially when we consider everything else that is similar about our histories. So that's why I wanted to give even points to both.
I really think we need to film a split screen version of the two of you doing that at some point.
Well, right. We need a time machine.
Yeah.
Well, we could use that. We could use that Snapchat filter.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
True.
Make ourselves children again.
All right. So now that the points are that'd be creepy.
All right. So where are we at?
All right. We're all very close actually. And for the first time, at least in a while, or maybe the first time ever, Jessica, you're on the bottom with 16 points, which is still a lot of points. Mark, you got 17 points. but I have 18. By 1 point. It was very close. That's why, yeah, I don't know. Because it's funny, because I'm adding the scores as we're all giving our points, and I'm like, you know. So, all right, a win. So that means, Jessica, you and I both won 4 this season. So we're tied for wins for the year. Sorry, Mark. But you get to watch me pick from the jar of prizes here. So, you know.
Okay.
And I know you probably put something dastardly in there. I apologize, Jessica, if this involves your face and any kind of dessert. All right. I'm sorry. Let's see what we get here. Bonk. Okay.
What? Now what?
Okay.
What did I do?
First of all, your eyes look like Z's. All right, so basically, I get to pick one of you to come with me and be and perform the most popular song, if I'm reading this correctly, from another dimension. Okay.
I don't know what that means. Who wrote that?
I think basically it means we get to go to another dimension and stand in for these artists and perform their song or something.
Okay.
You know? So that's interesting.
I'm gonna see how that turns out.
Yeah, and I got to pick one of you to do it. So who's that going to be? I guess we'll find out. We'll leave a little suspense there. I won't tell anybody yet until.
You should pick the loser
I heard.
of the season.
Well, of the season. Oh, gee, I wonder who that is. You didn't plan that beforehand, did you?
No.
I think that's for. Well, you know, you are a musician, Mark, so I think it would make sense to bring you along.
Okay.
To another dimension.
Let's go.
Wherever that is, you know. So stay tuned and find out how that turned out and what that means. Y'all scratching your head, but trust me, it'll be fun. All right, so, well, that brings us to the end of our game for episode 10 of our first season.
That's the end of season 1.
Yeah, 1979. We've gone through the 70s. So we're going to do the 80s next season, and we're very excited about that because, you know, we were teenagers during that time, and that'll be a lot of fun. So if you liked our show, if you were here for these 10 episodes and want to see another 10, hit like and subscribe so we can notify you when they show up and let people know about this fun show that you saw, and then show them ours.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, it's been a great time working on this show. You know, we've spent the last few months in pre-production and production filming the show, and I know we've put a lot of time into the post-production work to get the show ready for folks to see it. And
yeah, this has been an experience for us because we've never done this before. So
yeah, nothing at this level. You know, and I encourage folks, if you do like what we're doing, the only way that's going to help folks see it is to share it.
Yeah.
Put comments on the videos, like it. If
you want to support our dreams, then yes.
Please help us get the word out, because you know, it's one of the things we talked about was, you know, we weren't sure we'd go on with a season 2 because it was all based upon how well this did and how well it was received. So hopefully we did our job and gave you all something that was worth watching and listening to, and then hopefully enough so that you want more, and let us know. And so, you know, we'll, you know, hopefully if it goes well, we'll start planning season 2.
Yeah.
I know we've already been talking about some one-off specials, like something on
we have other things planned as well. Yes.
You know, maybe a Eurovision show, maybe a, you know, best alternate songs, rock songs, best metal songs. I mean, we certainly can go off in a million different directions with this, but we want to know. Maybe tell us. Put in the comments. What would you like to see?
What would you like to see? Yeah.
Top 10 polka songs. I don't know. You know.
And, you know, we're hoping to expand, you know, just outside of music, too, because we'd like to do some films in the future, short films, and hopefully some, you know, full-length feature films. You know, we're just getting started here. So if you're supporting us, thank you for your support. Jessica, do you want to say anything before I lead us close to being out?
I'll just extend another request for sharing and liking and subscribing. But most of all, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching and coming along with us as we, you know, take this trip down memory lane. Hope folks found it fun, because I know I certainly did. So
it was more fun than I expected, and it was. I think we all feel better about our performances now. Because at first I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but honestly, it feels nice here. I like this.
It's fun. Yeah.
All right, so. Spotify and Apple Music. You want to tell us about that, Mark?
Yeah, so like we do for every episode of the show, we curate a playlist where we pick our favorite songs from the year for the episode is focused on. So this year, 1979, we picked our favorite songs. from the top 50 and created playlists that are linked in the description of today's video. So if you want to listen to it on Spotify or you can listen to it on Apple Music, it's there in the description of our video. So hopefully you enjoy it. You'll find some, revisit some old classics, maybe find some new favorites, and enjoy the music like we do. So
all right,
there you go.
Also, my final annoying plug for my book that I hope if you're interested you'll read on Amazon Kindle. I have a book out called Evergreen Choose Happiness. It is a sci-fi coming-of-age story with a bit of cosmic horror, and if you're into that sort of thing, it's only $5 and you can read it in a weekend. Check it out if you'd like and let me know what you think. And on that note, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us through these 10 episodes. We hope we get to see you for another 10 episodes. On behalf of Mark and Jessica and Trimungus, I am Tim. We are out. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
And shuffle out.
Make it even clip.
Stay tuned for bloopers.
Mein Welt ist Pac-Man, mein Vater ist Pac-Man, mein Liebhaber ist Pac-Man und jeder ist Pac-Man. Mein Welt ist Pac-Man, meine Mutter ist Pac-Man, meine Nachtschwester ist Pac-Man und jeder ist Pac-Man. Meine Mutter ist Pac-Man, meine Nachtschwester ist Pac-Man und jeder ist Pac-Man. 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 Ja, ja, ja. Und mein Welt ist Pac-Man, ist Pac-Man, ist Pac-Man. Mein Vater ist Pac-Man, ist Pac-Man. Ist Pac-Man. Meine Nachtschwester ist Pac-Man. Und jeder ist Pac-Man. Ja! Do you want to touch it? You want to touch it? You want to... Oh, it's Pac-Man. Yes. I want like that. It's Pac-Man. Mein Vater ist Pac-Man. Mein Liebhaber ist Pac-Man.